This is Module 1, Unit 2 of GSE 322. And under this unit, we are going to talk about measure of central tendency, which are mean, median, and mode. Mean is the average value of a given number, and this can be calculated with the formula summation x over n, where the summation of x is the sum of the scores, while the n is the total number of score x. So let's take an example. So given this example here, we have to calculate the mean of the value. So to calculate the mean, we are going to use the formula summation x over n, and that means we are going to add the value given. So when you add the value given, you divide it by 4, and that when you divide that will give us 4. We are going to look at another example of mean. This time around, we are solving mean of grouped data, and then to solve mean of group data, we are going to use the formula summation fx over summation f. So let's look at the table here. We have been given the table. So the first thing we do is to generate the value for our x. So the value for our x, which is min max, can be gotten by adding the lower class interval plus the upper class interval, which is 48 plus 50, and then we divide it by 2, and that gives us 49. So you pause and do the rest, and when you do that, you get the following value. So what we do now is that we multiply our f with x. So 3 times 49, and that gives us 147. So we are going to run for the others. So when you do that, you get the following value. Then the next thing is that we add the frequency together, and if you have the frequency, you are going to get 30. Then you add the addition of your fx, and the addition of our fx is 1677. So we are going to divide 1677 by 30, and when you do that, you get 55.9. The median is the middle number, and we can do that by using the formula. When our n is odd, we use the formula here, and then when our n is even, we make use of this formula. So let's take an example here. So we have been given the value, and we have to calculate or to find the median. And to get the median, the first thing is what we do, the rearrangement of the given number, either in ascending or descending order. So if we rearrange this value here, you have it in this form. And then what we do now is that you reduce it left and right. So 1 will cut off 10, 3 will cut off 9, 4 will cut off 8, while 5 will cut off 6. So we'll be having one number left in the middle. So when you have a number left in the middle, that number automatically becomes the middle number, or the median. So let's use the formula this time around. Since our n is 9, so 9 is odd number, so we are going to make use of the formula for odd, and this is the formula for odd, and that what we do is that we substitute our n to be 9. So when you do that and you resolve, you get our the fifth number. So what we do now is that you check from the arrangement of the number. So the fifth number, if you count, the fifth number is going to be 6, and that becomes our median. So let's look at another example for median. This time around is in a tabular form. So to solve this now, you are going to write 22 11 times, 24 2 times, until we get to the last number there, which is 60, and that 60 will be written 5 times. So after that, we are going to start reducing the number left and right. So 22 is going to cut off 60, 22 will cut off 60. So we'll do that. When you complete that, you should have something like this. Then you'll be having two numbers left in the middle, which is what, 42 and 42. When you're having two numbers left in the middle, you're going to add the two numbers and divide by 2. So when you do that, then the median becomes 42%. This time around, we are going to solve the same problem using formula. And to know which of the formula, we must know if our n is even or not odd. So to know if our n is even or odd, let's do that from the table. Let's calculate our cumulative frequency, and by adding up our frequency, so the first number there is 11, and then we add 11 to 2, which will give us a 13. So if you run that down, so you are going to get the following figures. So now our n here is 60, and that means that our n is a even number. So we use the formula for even number. So what we do now is that we substitute our n to be 60. So if you do that, you have this. And so when you calculate, you have our 38th position and the 31st position. So the 30th and the 31st position will be determined from the table, and that is the circle column. So in this circle now, we have the 38th fall in 42, and our 31st also fall in a group of 42. So what we do now is that you add the two together and divide by 2, then you now get your value for median, which is what? 42. So whether you use the formula method or use the arrangement method, you should get the same answer. So for the mode is highest occurring number. So let's look at an example. So given this set of data, we have to find the mode. So to solve that, we look for the number with highest frequency. So we discover that the highest frequency here is 3, and that is corresponding to 2, and that means that our mode is 2. So let's look at another example here. Looking at this table here, we want to know which one is the highest, what is our mode. So we discover that 102 is the value is the highest frequency, so which is corresponding to 40. That means that our mode is 40.